This is the Pocket Dispo. Now, it's meant to mimic that old school disposable lens, and if you're anything like me, the minute that you saw this, you probably went, cool, yeah, this is pretty dang cool. Now, I found it on Instagram. I was immediately intrigued by it. I love the idea, I love the thought, and I love the size of it. So I took it out and I shot a bunch with it, and we're gonna talk about it. But, before we do all of that, let's figure out who made this and why did they make this? Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bust out the whiteboard and we're gonna give you the best explanation about where this app came from and why. So, a man named David D. I won't go into any more details, but he was very famous and had a big controversy a couple years later. He came up with an app called Dispo. Now, this app was made to kind of mimic the idea of a disposable lens camera on an app. So basically you downloaded the app, you shot your photos, and it had a filter built in that basically allowed you to look like a disposable camera. So from there, we go a whole new route. Dave, the one that was famous, had a controversy where he had some friends that did bad things. Those friends did bad things. Now, because those friends did bad things, the people with money that Dave had gone into business with for Pocket Dispo, they told Dave to go home and you were no longer in this business. So now they said, bye-bye, Dave. So now there's no more famous person kind of going and saying, hey, this is a really cool product. So during all of that, they ended up coming out with this lens called the Pocket Dispo Lens. Now, this thing is amazing. It goes on the outside of the camera, like I said before, and it mimics the look of a disposable lens from the old cameras. And now you know the where and the why, and more importantly, that there was a big controversy with an influencer, and that's where this came from, craziness. Whew. Okay, so we're back now. Calm down. This is what it looks like. It's very simple, right? It has a tiny little pinhole lens right there, plastic lens built into what looks just like a lens cap, and it's about the size and shape and thickness of a lens cap. And it's real simple. Let's go ahead and we'll mount it, and we'll kind of show you right here. Take your camera, I'm gonna turn it off. Awesome, we're gonna find the little pinhole on the back, and we're gonna line it up right there, and we're gonna twist, and just like that, it's on your camera. And I will say, I do love how this makes my R5 look. When I carry it around, it does feel like a completely new thing, and I love that. I love the fact that it's so compact. I love the fact that people look at it, they ask questions. It is very cool. Now, I don't love everything about it. Now, you won't be able to tell, and I'm not gonna get into the macro, but if you kind of see right here, there's a little thing right there sticking up. Now, those things tend to fray off occasionally when you take it on and off your camera. I don't know, can you see it right there? So you can see it right there. Now, it is a 3D printed piece, so I don't expect it to have crazy longevity. If I got a year or two out of it, it would be great. Again, the price point was $50 for this thing right here. So if you look, that little piece, it's hanging off. It actually already flew off. Oh no, there it is right here. And that's what bugs me, is that these things, you can see the grain right here. If these things spray off and they go into the camera and they get stuck somewhere around the inside of there and any piece of it, it could cause a problem. But that might be my only real complaint, and I don't know if you can get around that because it is a plastic printed part. So beyond that, I do think it is a really cool device. We're actually not gonna put that back on just because that little piece is hanging off and it is bugging me. But other than that, this thing is great. Recently, I had an awesome opportunity to take this to Knott's Berry Farm. I also have taken this to like Disneyland and the Orange County Fair, but Knott's, I feel like I had a pretty good grasp on what I wanted to do, how I wanted to use it. So we're gonna go ahead and check out some of those photos. I'm gonna kind of walk you through maybe a little bit more about what I've learned while using this. And hopefully if you guys do love this and you guys figure out that you want one of these, you go support them and you buy one for yourself. Just arrived at Knott's, smashed some Yoshinoya. Now we're gonna head in. I'm gonna test out this Pocket Dispo Camera Lens. Immediately when you put this on your camera, it's compact, it's comfortable, it changes the way that it feels, it changes the way that it looks, and I think it changes the way that you're going to use the camera itself. One of my favorite things about this lens so far is just how small and compact it makes your camera. A lot of us that are carrying these big DSLR or mirrorless cameras around generally have to always have something that's just so large, it's hard to feel comfortable. But this is really cool, it's compact, it fits in my fanny pack. And because it's shooting these already filtered photos, you kind of already know what you're gonna get, which makes it more fun, I think, which makes the appeal very high for me. So it's great, I love it. Immediately, I learned that there's just really no way to get a really sharp eye or image in focus. So because of that, I'm not gonna be shooting people as much. I'm not gonna shoot a bunch of portraits. If I do, I know what I get. But I think what I like the best about this is shooting wide, shooting landscapes, using as much as I can of this little tiny pinhole camera lens to make these things look so cool and so different. It's literally like having an Instagram filter or having a filter built into the camera, but you're using such a high-end sensor that the images take on this new texture and this new vibe. I'm really digging it, and we had so much fun cruising around Knott. Really sink my teeth into something different and not so focused on getting, again, tack sharp, getting people's faces. I was just there to kind of capture the vibe, the day, and the experience of me and my family hanging out at Knott. And to be honest, having a very simple, lightweight lens to put on my camera, I can just enjoy the afternoon. I can be present. I don't have to worry about anything because I just point and shoot this thing as it, and it is what it is. It's so refreshing and it's so fun. Now, do I think that this Pocket Dispo disposable lens is worth the $50 you would pay for it? I do. I think it's worth it. I think if it's in your budget, you should get one. I do think there is a little detail on the back that could be tightened up eventually with the little fraying, but other than that, I don't think it'll harm your camera too much. I would recommend it. The link for this will be below in the description. If you're interested, please click and buy one of these. Support Pocket Dispo. Yeah, awesome guys. If you guys like this video, please like, comment below, subscribe to the page. We are new, we're getting started. We cannot wait to do more content like this. Follow us on Instagram at Chris Horry Photography. We will catch you guys later. Appreciate it. Aloha.